اوكي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ما بعد wow. Okay, welcome. You are welcome to this workshop series on scholarship tips and tricks, where we discuss how to get scholarships, what are the tips, and how do you go about applying for some particular scholarships, where we show you a live demo and demonstrate how you can apply for scholarships for undergrad and postgrad. Today is the 17th February, and we are going to start without. Yep. Okay. So yeah, the agenda for the day, we're going to start with introduction. Then we will discuss some of the requirements when applying for scholarship. After that, we will give the open floor for Q&A. Then we will have a live application process walkthrough, which will also allow Q&A. From there, we will discuss some overview of our platform. Lastly, we will close the workshop. I'm Abu Bakr Sani Ali, and I will be the presenter alongside with Engineer Abba Suraj. So our company is called Yawa Digital Tech and Automation Technologies. We provide services in the fields of technology, as well as provide scholarship and what you say guidance and counseling to students and scholars who want to further their study abroad and locally. So scholarships, what are scholarships? When we talk about scholarships, we are referring to those financial awards that are granted to students based on various criteria. So depending on the criteria, a student can be able to secure or gain an award that will allow him to study for a master's, PhD, or even undergrad. And the criteria could be based on the merit, which means the performance, academic background of that student, or it could be based on need. So that student maybe could be in need, and maybe their locality, their country, their region are in need of that particular scholarship. So in order to help that region, that country, also they can provide scholarships. We have also specific qualifications. So sometimes the scholarships are based on some people who have some particular type of school qualifications. Those are the ones who are eligible for that scholarships or financial award. And why do you need them? Of course, the obvious reason is to reduce the financial burden of education. As we know, education is not cheap, it's expensive. So sometimes without these awards or scholarships, many people will have it difficult, will find it difficult to go and study abroad or even locally. So when you have these financial awards, which you can use to relieve you of your financial burden, then you have no thing to worry about when it comes to education and how you can further your education. They come in different shapes, as we mentioned earlier. We have the merit-based scholarships. These types of scholarships are based on excellence, so based on your excellence, your academic background, that's how you get your scholarships. You have diversity and inclusion. So these ones are maybe based on some criteria such as the diversity. So if, let's say, the scholarship providers are trying to have many ladies, study, then they can say, okay, we are providing scholarship for women. Okay. Inclusion also, maybe it could be say, okay, we want to look for people who are physically challenged and we want to provide them with a scholarship. Okay. We have specialized scholarships. These are scholarships that are provided to people who have maybe background in some particular courses, for example, STEM courses, science, technology, engineering, and math. So these people could be provided with a particular scholarship that will help them study. And you have also, let's say, sports scholarships. So these are people maybe who are very good when it comes to sports. And some universities or colleges would like to give them scholarships so that they can come and play in the school team, thereby generating revenue for the school. So because they are going to generate money for the university or for the college, the university will also pay for them for their study. And the sources are as follows. We have colleges and universities. So colleges and universities, as I mentioned, could give scholarships to people or students based on demand. Okay. Let's say some universities want to create awareness about themselves. It's a university, new university, nobody knows them, and they want to start operations. So what happens is they would like to maybe invite people to come on scholarship. That way, people will be able to have an idea of how that university works and the quality of education in that university. And by doing that, you know, the word will go around, word of mouth. People will now become aware of that university, and then people will start flocking in. All right. Or you have private organizations, who will like to go, and also foundations. Okay, you have different types of foundations, Melinda Gates Foundation, Warren Buffett, and so on. So this kind of foundations too can provide scholarships to students who want to study and further their studies abroad. Okay, in different countries. You have government programs similar to colleges and universities. Some governments also provide scholarships to students so that they can come. Bright students can come to their country, study in that country, and by doing that, they will be able to, you know, not only work in the country after graduation, but they will also serve as ambassadors for that country. So that when they leave the country, they can go and tell other people good things about that country, and then maybe people will start wanting to visit that country. Okay. We have also corporate scholarships. So some people who are working in maybe some corporate companies, some companies, their company would like to sometimes offer them with scholarships to go and study because they want their employee to be highly trained, to be well trained, So they will pay for your school fees and everything until you go and study on scholarship. All right. So these are some of the sources of scholarship. When it comes to requirements, there are lots of scholarship requirements. Okay. And these come in different shapes, which we will talk about them in detail. So this include transcripts, standardized tests, statement of purpose, recommendation letters, sometimes CVs, as well as application forms and passport. So these are needed sometimes when you are applying for a scholarship. You need to provide them. We have some of the benefits people get when they get scholarships, and these are some of the most common ones. We have the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So Erasmus Mundus, when you are able to get this scholarship, and this is only for Nigerians, okay, when you get this scholarship, you can be able to get a stipend of up to $1,000 or $1,500, and this is this is a good amount of money. It's enough for you to pay for your accommodation as well as living expenses. And of course, tuition fee is going to be covered, insurance, and even the travel, flight tickets are going to be covered for you. All right. So this is some of the benefits you get if you get the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Fulbright is yet another type of scholarship also. Also for Nigerians as well, you can get something in the range of $1,000 to $2,500 monthly as your stipend or living allowance. And this is also a very good sum of money that will allow you to live a good life as well as even save money and help others. Chevening is yet another one. Okay, it also similar to Erasmus Mundus and Fulbright. Also comes with very, very generous benefits, which you can also benefit from. So why do we want to do this workshop? First of all, we want to create awareness so that people know that there are different types of scholarships out there and that people can apply and they will be, if God wills, they will be able to get a scholarship. They can secure a scholarship, and with that, it will help them financially as well as it will help them achieve their career goals. Okay. Motivation. We want to motivate students to apply for these scholarships and so that they can benefit from everything a scholarship offers, ranging from the stipend, network, career advancement, and so on. Okay, so sometimes when you are doing this, when you get a scholarship, not only are you going to gain from the money, but you are also going to get from the network. By going to another country, you get to meet many, many people, and these people will be able to become maybe good friends for you. And not only that, they will tell you, they will maybe even help you open doors that you don't know exist. So that is good. Okay, that's good for you. Lastly, we have the helping and guidance part of the workshop. We want to show you how you can apply and guide you on how to apply for some workshops. Requirements. So this, as we said, we will discuss them in detail. When you apply for scholarship, these are some of the requirements. First of all, we have the transcripts. So these are your results in university or undergrad. We have the confirmation of results. These are sometimes your certificates. Okay. We have the essays or personal statements, which we discussed previously in detail. So this is all about things you write down about yourself and why you should get the scholarship and why you are applying for that scholarship. Letters of recommendation, this includes what your professors or your bosses will write about you to recommend to this scholarship committee so that they will consider you and offer you the opportunity to go and study. Standardized tests, these are exams, okay? These are exams that sometimes are important, okay? If you want to get scholarships, you have to do this standardized test, and this test will allow the organizers to understand your capabilities in contrast and when compared to other students. Because we all come from different backgrounds, if we don't have this standardized test, then there will be no way for the universities to be able to tell how we compare in terms of our inherent capabilities. Interviews and auditions. So sometimes they invite you to interviews, especially after you pass the first phase. And normally the first phase includes your documentation. So if you have enough documentation and you fulfill all the requirements, then the next stage is mostly to be invited for an interview. Here they would like to talk to you. They would like to get to know the person behind those documentation. Okay, those documents, who is that person? They would like to talk to that person. Proof of ethnicity or demographic information. This one here is all about trying to know where you are from, who you are as a person, as an individual, in terms of your ethnic group. Okay, are you white, Caucasian, uh, African, Black African, Arab, Middle Eastern, Asian, and stuff like that. That's ethnicity. Because some scholarships are for a particular ethnicity, and if you are from a different ethnicity, you are not eligible for those scholarships. Demographic information, all about you as a person, as I said. Are you male, female, because some you will see scholarships are only for women, some are only for men. So this is also sometimes asked. And this can easily be verified from your international passport. They can be able to tell your ethnicity as well as your demography in terms of gender. Citizenship, this also can be proved by your international passport. They would like to know which country are you a citizen of. So some scholarships are for some particular citizens of some particular country. Okay, it's not for all country citizens. So if you are maybe Nigerian and the scholarship is for those who are from Cameroon, okay, then Nigerians are not eligible. That's why they need a proof of citizenship, and that can easily be proved using your international passport. Work experience verification also. So sometimes when you have work experience, you can use that, you can leverage that to enhance your application. So when you are applying and you have some work experience, this will go a long way to tell them that, yeah, some people have even hired me and they are willing to pay me for my services, which means I'm not a useless person. So if you hire me too, I'm sure I will be able to deliver because some people have already validated my usage as a person. Okay. Research or project proposal. For those who are doing PhD, sometimes you have to provide a project proposal. Okay, you have to tell them, okay, when I come for this research, these are the things I'm going to work on. Okay, this is what I'm going to study. This is what I'm going to do my research on. You have leadership or acknowledgement. Yeah. So this is something that has to do with you as a person, or whether you have some leadership qualities and skills or not. So if you have those leadership skills and qualities, you can leverage that to enhance and improve your chances of getting a scholarship. Community involvement records. So as I always mention this, you need to get yourself involved in the community. You need to find something that you can use to show as a proof that you really help others in the community. You provide yourself, you sacrifice some of your time to be in service of others. Okay, so this is important. Lastly, we have the character report. So some countries would like to know that you do not have any form of criminal indictments before. You have no criminal history. You are very clean. You are a responsible person. You are an up and going citizen. You know, because before they give you scholarship, because they don't want to bring criminals to their countries, they want to bring those people uh, who are very, very clean in terms of their records. And this will help you also to make sure you have no issues related to the security agencies. All right. So these are some of the requirements when you apply for scholarship that they might ask you to provide proofs for or to provide it in written form. So let's look at interviews or audition recordings in more detail. Okay. As I said, this is not necessary. Sometimes they don't ask, but other universities or scholarship providers, they would like to know you before you come and start studying or before they offer you an admission. And some of the things they will do during the interviews is to ask you, okay, who you are, why you applied for that, why then, if it is a school, why do you want to study in that particular school and what have you. All right. So sometimes they might ask you to do recordings. Okay. So you write your application form, you have very good background, but maybe you don't know how to speak in public or you cannot even speak good grammar. But because you are writing application, you have no worries. Sometimes you don't know how to analyze a question, you are very good when it comes to cramming something in the book and going to exam, and just vomiting out whatever it is that you crammed onto the paper to get good grades. So sometimes they would like to see how your own chain of thought work. How do you think? So they will provide you with questions immediately and they would like to see you, you know, solve those questions in their presence. So it could be challenging sometimes. Sometimes they just want to talk to you to understand the person behind those documents. So sometimes the text-based submission are not enough. That's why we like to see some interviews. And sometimes they tell you to record yourself and introduce yourself. They tell you, okay, record yourself, use your camera. You can use your mobile camera, record yourself, introduce yourself, you know, without any having anybody in the meeting asking you questions. So when you are going for this interview recording tips, okay, and any form of interview, the first thing is always prepare, because preparation is key. Make sure you prepare. Don't ever go for an interview without preparation, no matter how good you are. Do some research, okay? If you are going for an interview about a scholarship, about especially the scholarship that is provided by universities, make sure you research about that university. What is that university? What do they do? Who is their VC or the president? Whatever they call the big guys, okay? What are the departments? What are the courses they offer? You know, what is this? What is that? Know all you can about that university. And the first thing is to use their website. Go to the website of that university, okay? Check it out. Learn a lot from the website, okay? That's the first thing. It's very important. Then there are some responses, there are some questions, okay, that are normally asked during interviews. Questions like tell us about you, okay? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? So these are some common questions that are asked almost every interview you go to. You might be able to come across these questions. So have your responses ready. In fact, even rehearse them. So write them down, come sit down, try to rehearse. Ask your friend to be asking you these common questions and try to answer those common questions flawlessly. That's very important. So preparation is key. Okay. When you are recording though, you will like to find some place that is quiet and has professional setting. Okay. So don't go inside the marketplace and do a recording or do an interview. When people tell you we are going to interview you tomorrow, most of the time now interviews take place online. They will call you on Zoom, just like we are having this meeting, and you will be talking, they will be talking to you directly. So make sure you choose a quiet and professional setting, okay? Try to avoid background noise, okay? Wear good clothes because you do video, so dress smartly is very important, and try to avoid disruptions. Okay, don't go to places where somebody can easily come and disrupt you during the meeting. So try to avoid all that. And if possible, look for somewhere that has less thing in the background. We don't want sometimes to have a background that is very distracting. So if you can use plain background, that is okay. All right. And lastly, you speak clearly and confidently. Okay. When you are speaking during the interview, you should make sure that people can understand you. So don't speak fast and don't speak too slow that you bore them. Okay. Try to speak at a normal pace, at a moderate pace. Okay. And uh, open your mouth. It's important when you are speaking. Make sure your mouth opens up so that you can be chewing and spitting each word well, and people can hear and understand each and every word. Okay, which is one of the importance of the preparation and the rehearsal. If you have rehearsed, you practice and practice, sit in front of a mirror, rehearse your responses, questions and answers. The more you rehearse, the more confident you become, and that will show. Try to maintain eye contact, okay, especially during the interview. If you are talking to people, try to look at the camera. Okay, it's very good, it's very important. Don't go around and put your head down as you speak, or you keep looking at the screen instead of looking at the camera. Try to look directly at the camera so that people will have that sense of eye contact and the connection can be established because you are talking from afar. So this is important. Lastly, you should have enthusiasm and positivity, experience genuine interest and passion for the scholarship. Okay, they would like to know that you really want that scholarship and you are willing to do whatever it takes and you are willing to put in as much effort as possible, within your means to do well in that scholarship. So try to show them that, you have to express your genuine interest and be positive. Don't feel sad, don't feel like down when you are doing these interviews. Emanate some positivity, smile. It's always important. When you are speaking to them, smile, look at them. It's very important. You have also the high quality audio and video. So if you can afford to have a very professional camera which you can use to record yourself, then no problem. That is highly recommended. But if you cannot afford, then try to get the best camera out there. Use your phone. Phones are now very sophisticated. We have phones that come with very good cameras. So try to use your phone so that you can have a very high quality video. It's important. And try to follow specific instructions. Sometimes they tell you when you are doing an interview, a recording, especially a recording, they will tell you the things they want you to mention in the recording, the things they would like you to address. So try to follow that format they provide and stay on track because they might tell you you have 3 minutes. So think about how much you can compress in that 3 minutes, how much you would like to uh, explain within 3 minutes, what you want to take on and what you want to leave out. Okay. Sometimes if you are doing the normal interview, in this case, there is no issue because the specification will mostly and the format will be based on the interviewers. So they will be the ones asking you the questions, and it doesn't have to be following a particular format. Somebody can ask you questions that are technical. Somebody can ask you questions that are personal. So there is no specific format, especially when you are doing a live interview. Okay. So let's keep this in mind. And you would like to highlight your strengths. Okay. For example, these are the things you are very good at. You are a good team worker. You like to work in a team. You are a hard worker also. You like to indicate this. You are a fast learner. You can learn things very quickly. You would like to indicate this. And some of the things you can do in terms of technical things, these are soft skills. So hard skills too. If you're applying for an engineering position, you will want to maybe talk about some of your projects which you've executed and so on. And we mentioned that you should always try to be confident when you are discussing it. So always practice and ask for feedback. Okay. A good way to get feedback is if you record yourself. Okay, this is very important. When you are going, even if you're going to do a live interview, try to record yourself during the practice sessions. When you are practicing, record yourself. And then later on, go and watch the recording. Write down the things you normally say a lot. Write down the points where you realize you are missing. Write down the things you know you should add in the interview or the things you should remove. There are sometimes some words that we normally use a lot of the time. Try to see those words. If you figure out those words, try to minimize their usage or come up with some substitutes. There are people who are always like every 1 second or 2 words, they will say, you know, so after like after every 2 minutes or 2 words or 2 sentences, they will say, or something like that. And these are breaks, they can sometimes cause uh, confusion. So try to avoid these kinds of breaks, and that will help you a lot. And when you are recording, make sure you review it, edit it before you submit. This is very important. So, as I said, keep in mind when you are recording or attending a live interview, these things we mentioned, always, and make sure you have satisfied them. Prepare well, show confidence, and after that, I'm sure you will do well. All right. So this is about scholarships, the overview, as well as interview and recordings in detail. If you have questions, you can ask before we do a live work